Welcome back. We're now back at the Dreamaker Podcast, where I make these dreams come true. I'm glad you're here. Extremely glad you're here. So, today we're going to touch bases of something that I mentioned before, probably in one of these pods. I don't know if you noticed. I spoke about the lone wolf. I spoke about the wolf pack. So now, yes, I am sticking with the wolf pack. We're going to stick with the wolf pack. That's the pack. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like this. You know, when all these, I'll say rappers because y'all understand that. When all these rappers made their run, they had a set. And you had to be down with the set. For example, Cam had Dipset. Jim Jones had Dipset. Jewels had Dipset. This time we ain't doing no sets. You got me down with the pack. And this is the wolf pack. This is the wolf pack. When you join this pack, you make a pack. Okay, the first pack you're gonna make is that you cannot stop. You cannot quit. That's the first thing you're gonna make. Because it's so easy to quit. It is so easy to quit. And because I know this, and I know a lot of you entrepreneurs are just starting out, and, some of you, maybe even all of you, are new to this. Some of you may not be new to this. But one source I can give y'all, because, I always come with the source, right, is a little motivation. You're going to need this along the journey, right? When you make this journey, right, your first step into entrepreneurship, you are alone. And I spoke about this before. I spoke about being alone. You're going to be alone, bro. You're going to be alone. Guarantee you. You the lone wolf. You by yourself. You're going to be alone. Nobody's going to understand your vision. Nobody's going to understand where you're going. Nobody's going to understand what you're doing. Most people won't even care what you're doing. Nobody is going to understand. All right? Nobody's going to see your vision. Nobody's going to see it. The only person that can see your vision is you. Right? And this is where the road gets rocky. Right? Because you're pursuing this, right? And you're not getting anywhere. Things are going slow. Right? You might get a like here. You may get a like there. You might not even get a like. You might get 0 views, 2 views, 3 views. And you like, and this is assuming if you're YouTubing. Other things the same way. You might not get a sale. You might not get a sale for days. Nobody might not pay attention to you. You might not get the traffic you're looking for. And at that point, it's so easy to give up. And what I notice, I see a lot of people they just give up. And I understand. But again, if you're going to be a part of the wolf pack, you can't give up. Can't do that. Kids watching. Your kids is watching. That's how I get y'all. A lot of times I get y'all, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. These little like clip moments, I get y'all when I bring up the kids. Because I know y'all sensitive when it comes to y'all kids. So if I go, yo, listen. Yo, check this out. Your kids watching. So if you quit, your kid gonna think you're a quitter. Your kid gonna think you're a quitter. You don't want that. You don't want that. So a lot of times that's how I get y'all, because you guys don't want to be seen as quitters. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody wants to be seen as a quitter. Who wants to be seen as a quitter? Right? Nobody wants to be seen as a quitter. But in this journey, you're going to be alone. And there's going to be times that you want to quit. Right? The lone wolf, right? A lot of people get it misconstrued. The lone wolf isn't usually the rejected wolf. That's not how that works. The lone wolf is usually a wolf that outgrows his pack, leaves his pack to build his own pack. Because there's a whole bunch of different wolf packs. Whole bunch of different wolf packs. It's not just one wolf pack. There's many wolf packs. And the lone wolf usually leaves to build another pack. That's how that goes. Typically. There's other cases, but typically. And when you taking the journey of business and entrepreneurship and you're becoming an entrepreneur, you're saying, yo, I want to start a small business, You will be a lone wolf. And you taking this journey alone, right? And in this time, it might seem like, oh, I should just partner up. I should just find somebody to partner up with. I should just get employees. You start thinking about getting all these things and you miss the principal foundation, right? Remember, business is built on foundation. If your foundation is messed up, your business is messed up. Straight up. Straight up. Your business has to have core principles, right? Your business has to have core principles. Now, what does that look like? All right, cool. Loyalty, integrity, honesty, right? These seem like regular things, but you'd be surprised. It's so easy to ignore them. Give you an example, case in point. You got your business, right? You just started, you're super excited about it. Let's say you got an idea, invention. Somebody comes to you and they go, yo, check this out. I buy that business from you. And you're like, oh, shoot, for real? Yeah, I buy that business from you, bro. I buy that business from you for $2 million. Most of you will sell a business. Facts. Most of you will sell a business. Most of you will go, F it. I take the 2M and dip. If we talking business, most of you would. But now, where's the loyalty to your business? Because when you started it, you had an idea to do so many different things, right? And now you sold your business for an M or 2Ms. Bye. Now that person takes your business, you know the story already. He gonna take that 2M and he gonna turn it into 50, which is something you could have done. But if you stood on certain principles, you would have never did that. Just name of the game. That's a fact. When you're in this lone wolf phase, right? This is a very crucial phase. Like, I've been through this phase plenty of times because, I'm an entrepreneur, multiple business, serial entrepreneur, man. So when you're in this lone wolf phase, this is the time where you're supposed to build your skill, right? You're supposed to master marketing, master finances, right? Study your target audience. These are all the things you're supposed to do when you're in this lone wolf phase. Before you can even get to employees, marketing, anything, you need to focus on knowing how to understand and master these skills yourself, right? Because the reality is, as you grow and you scale, one thing is going to have to happen. You're going to have to hire people, right? You're going to have to hire people. And you need to be competent enough to know who you're hiring, for what position, and what you're expecting of them. But how can you hire somebody when you're not competent? Impossible. It's possible, but who suffers? Your business. Your business is going to suffer. That's a fact. You need to be competent in all of the skills that you need for your business. You need to be competent. When you're competent in these skills, right, and you've mastered it, when the time comes and you have room to hire, you know exactly what to look for. Right? So being a lone wolf, what ends up happening is, if you do it right and you master the skills, you become dangerously competent. You become dangerous. It's insane. When you double down and triple down, you become dangerously incompetent. That's the point of being a wolf. Wolves are, some may say, no more. The ladies will say wolves are cute animals. The ladies will say wolves are cute animals, right? Hey, I'm a wolf. Some may think I'm cute. Some may think I'm a cute animal. But it's deeper than that, right? You're missing the key factor of that line. Animal. I'm a wolf. At the end of the day, if push comes to shove, I will tear you apart when it comes to business, right? Not in the ruthless factor, but in the factor of competency. You have to know what the hell you doing. You have to. If you're going to be a wolf, you have to. You have to know what you're doing. There's no way around this. You're not going to be a competent lone wolf if you don't know what you're doing. You need to know exactly what you're doing. You need that. That's the point of being a wolf. Lone wolf. Extremely competent. A lot of times, I'll give you an example. A lot of times when I sit down and I do consultations and, people come to me with their business ideas and everything they have in mind, the reason why they come to me is because I have a certain level of skill, right? Doesn't matter if I push the hat backward, push the hat forward, if I come in a suit, or none of that matters. The point is that I have the skills up here. That's why people come to me, right? Whether it be product, service, whatever it is. I have the skills. I've took the time and dedicated to understand these things, right? Most of the time I took was on some hustle and bustle because that's how I'm moving. But like I said, and I always tell you this, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm building, you know what I'm saying? And I'm building the wolf pack. You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking for the short dollars no more. I ain't looking for the hustle bustle because I could do that. Stay hustling all day and, make quick bucks here and there. But now as I get older, I look towards longevity. I want legacy. You get what I'm saying? I want to leave something and I want legacy, right? For example, you go to the bank, you go to Chase. It's not just Chase. It's Chase JP Morgan. So JP Morgan founded Chase, even though I don't agree on how he founded it. But the point is that he founded Chase. And that's where I'm at. That's what I'm aiming towards, right? Not just the quick buck, but the long buck, longevity. And that's what you should all aim towards. Now, in this lone wolf phase, it gets lonely, like I told you. And one of the things you develop is competency, dangerous levels of competency. And what's going to happen is your competency is going to attract the right people around you, right? Because a lot of times a lone wolf, they stay alone, right? And they never get up out of that. I was a lone wolf. I was a lone wolf for like a little while. I left my pack. My pack got dismantled, but that's neither here nor there. But I left my pack. My pack got dismantled. Try to click it back, didn't work. I left my pack. And now I go off and I go build my own pack, right? But as I left, I went through that lone wolf phase. And you know what I did? I doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on my business and what I'm aiming towards. It didn't happen overnight, and I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. A lot of you want the overnight success. So this slow build, it may not work for you, but I bet you it's going to work for me. A lot of you people think, I don't want to say you people because, it's going to be some of you people because at the end of the day, we can't get everybody in the wolf pack, bro. It just is what it is. It's a selective group, right? It's a selective group. It's not for everybody. Like, I know my message ain't for everybody, right? But I know my message is for somebody. And, sidebar. I got to hit you with a sidebar. Shout out to my supporters, right? Because it's funny. Like I always say, you don't know who really supports you until they support you. Shout out to my supporters. I'm going to tell you why. I got mad people hitting me up. And I have to cipher through everyone that hits me up. One of the people that reached out said, yo, listen, I needed this. This picks me up. And again, here, Dreamaker Podcast, we're here to pick you up. That's what we're here to do. So if this is working for you, lock in. Hold on, wait. Lock in. So that's important. Now I'm done with my sidebar. Let's get back to this lone wolf because you're going to learn something out this for real. So the lone wolf, right? After you develop this dangerous level of competency like I did, like I told you, I've been out of the game for a while. I've been out for a while, right? And I sat down, right? And I just started developing, building, right? Understanding, mastering lighting, mastering angles, mastering lenses, mastering all of these things. Because again, when you're a lone wolf, you have to know everything. You have to know everything, right? So when you do have a team, and let's say your whole team leaves today, you could turn around and just run the production, run the system by yourself. That's a leader. That's a leader. When an employee goes out of work, you know what a leader does? Says, all right, when you gonna be back? All right, cool. Takes off his suit, takes off his badge. He goes down and gets his hands dirty with everybody else because there's something that's understood. The leader of the pack should be able to do everything. And when you're in that lone wolf phase, you need to know how to do everything, right? And you need to know how to do it good. You need to know how to do it great, straight up, right? So when you guys see my production and you see all of this, just know that it didn't happen overnight. I had to take a lot of time to master this. And when I say I master, I mean master lighting, master autofocus, understand how a lens works, right? Understand that a lens is an eye. Just like your real eye, it needs light. The more light it has, the more you can see. The less light it has, the more you can play with light. You get what I'm saying? That's what this lens is. It takes time to understand the concept, and then it takes time to implement, and then it takes time to act. And that's what I did. I act. So like I always say, if you like my production and you like the way this looks, and you want yours to look like this, hit me in the DM. Hit me in the DM. If you want to shoot your podcast, you just want to shoot your podcast, that's cool. Link in bio. I'll be happy to shoot your podcast. And like I always say, the same way my podcast looks, I make sure your podcast looks the same way. The same effort I put into my production, I make sure I put the same effort into yours. Think about that. All right. So back to this lone wolf phase, right? Because it is a phase. Lone wolf is just a phase. And you're going to get out of this phase, right? And when you get out of this phase, I want you to think of this, right? When you get out of this phase, right? Because a lot of people get stuck there too. A lot of people get stuck in the lone wolf phase after they develop all these skills. They stay stagnant because they don't want to build and grow. The lone wolf phase wasn't made to stay lone wolf forever. Every alpha wolf you see was a lone wolf at one point. A lot of y'all don't know that. Every alpha wolf you see was a lone wolf at one point. It's climbing a ladder, right? You don't climb a ladder from the top. You climb the ladder from the bottom, right? So when you're alone, you climb. And when you get to the top, you become your alpha. And when you become an alpha, certain responsibilities change. The way you view things change, right? But a lot of people do get stuck in the lone wolf, and we got to speak about that. A lot of people get stuck in the lone wolf, right? Because they get scared. You know, some lone wolves have a history of getting burned, chiseled, chewed up, spit out, not even look back on. Do. And then they stay in that lone wolf. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not designed to be a lone wolf. You're designed to be a part of the pack. You're designed to be a part of the pack. You're not designed to be alone. You're not designed to be a lone wolf. You are designed to be a part of the pack. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not a part of the pack, you stay a lone wolf, that comes with certain struggles as well. Yeah, you could be dangerously competent in everything, right? But at the end of the day, you're just one person. So your growth is stagnant. So you stay competent, you competent in everything, but you stagnant because you don't know how to interact. You don't know how to network. You don't know how to collaborate. You don't know how to build, right? You might learn all this and then not know how to network. That sucks. That sucks. It's like you're just basically doing this. Run around. I'm going to get it, and you ain't getting it. I'm going to get it, you ain't getting it. This is what you're doing all day. It ain't going to work, bro. It ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. It's not. It's just not. So the lone wolf phase is powerful, but you got to get up out of that. You have to. And then when you get out the lone wolf phase, this is how it looks, especially for you entrepreneurs, right? Because you entrepreneurs, I was so fortunate to be born in a time. Oh, so I can't tell you that. I'm going to show you my age. I can't tell you that. I just realized I was going. But listen though. I was fortunate enough to be born in a time where social media didn't exist. For you young kids, because there's a lot of young kids out there that want to be entrepreneurs that grew up in the social media era, right? I was born in a time when social media didn't exist, right? So you had to go get it. And even that was harder. That was harder. I think one of these pods, so I spoke about a cold door technique. A lot of you may not know what the cold door technique is, right? And I'm gonna refresh you. The cold door technique is, right? You know what? Jehovah's Witness people gonna understand this. Because when they come knocking on my door, I give them the cold door. I'm not answering it. That's the cold door technique, right? Picture going around, knocking on every door, trying to do door-to-door sales. That's the cold door technique. That is cold as hell. That's the era I come from. So it's very easy for me to network. It's not hard. I was forced to. You know what I'm saying? One of my first jobs was cold door. When I started my business when I was young, I was doing cold door. So networking is not a problem, right? That's one thing I do encourage y'all to do. You know, we talk about skills and we talk about not working and we talk about working. And I respect people who work. Trust me, I respect the working man. I highly respect the working man. If the working man doesn't exist, businesses don't exist. And a lot of you business owners and entrepreneurs, y'all gotta stop shitting on them. You gotta stop shitting on the man that go to work and do his 9 to 5 and go home and take care of his family and then fuel your business with his money. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You're not above nobody. You're not above nobody. And nobody's above you. You're not above nobody just because you have more bread. You're not above nobody just because you got more clout. It don't work like that, brother. We all breathe the same air. So when you shit on the next man because you go to work, and fortunate enough, you may not have to go to work and put labor intensive. You might just be able to, make your bread easier than him. Don't make y'all different. Because if the Most High come around and he could strike you down before he strike him. Now what? Take that bread to the grave. Take that bread to the grave. You can't look down on people in this industry. You cannot do that. You cannot disrespect people in this industry. You can't do that, right? I'm a firm believer. You treat somebody with respect, they treat you with respect. Don't throw no shades. Don't throw no subliminals. Don't do that. It's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. That's she-wolf behavior. When you throw shade as a wolf, as an alpha wolf, that's she-wolf behavior. We don't do that here. We don't do that. Shout out to the she-wolves though. Respect y'all. Shout out to the she-wolves. We're gonna do a pod about that. We're gonna do a pod where we speaking about the she-wolves and we speaking about how the she-wolves move and how they move. But back to this now, because sometimes I go off a little bit. I'm very enthusiastic if you haven't noticed. So when you're in this phase of being a lone wolf, you can't get stuck. You must learn how to network You must learn how to collaborate, because these are the things that are going to grow your business. So if you stuck right now and you like, yo, my business is slow, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to do, you got to network. Simply put, you have to network. You have to develop a strategy to get your business exposure. Straight up. Now, I know some of you saying, yo, that's easier said than done. You could say it, but how you do it, Dre? Well, here at the Dreamaker Podcast, I'm here to make your dreams come true. And one thing I learned, listen, I can't do it for free, but I could do it for a fee, right? You gotta respect the people that came before you, the people that got the sauce, the people that don't got the sauce. See, I got some sauce. I got strategies that you can implement that'll work for your business. I give them out all the time. But one thing you got to realize, you have to pay for these strategies, right? And you got to respect it too. You got to respect it. Let me tell you why. If I spent years in the industry mastering it on the back end, understanding systems, right? There's no reason why I shouldn't get paid for my skills. No reason. A lot of times, even I do consultation, like go get consultation for things. Nothing wrong with that. You know what it is? A lot of times people will look at me, or even at you if you offer consultation services, and go, yo, why I'm gonna pay him? Why should I pay him? I could go figure it out myself. That's what a lot of people do. But instead of doing that, just do consultation services. Hold up, wait. Speaking of consultation services, I'm not the only business that do consultation services. Shout out to my boy Intro to Comp. Intro to Comp offers consultation services as well, right? Very powerful. I go to Intro for consultation. Nothing wrong with that. Certain things I need consultation for. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's just, like the rest of y'all, I got a good rapport with Intro. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, you got to pay that man. You got to pay. You got to take care of that man. Just like if you were to come to me and do consultation. Intro come to me for consultation on certain things. We bounce back on each other, right? This is what businesses do when they collaborate, right? Collaboration. See how everything comes full circle? So you got to collaborate, because you got to get out of that lone wolf phase, right? You got to get out the background and you have to collaborate. You have to figure out ways to network. If you're smart, hey, I'm not saying you're not smart, but if you're savvy, you may not need me. But there's nothing wrong with having me around, right? Now, as I build my business, I'm going to grow. But don't get it messed up. I can fill every role in my business right now. That's what I'm doing. In my business, I got to be a marketer. I got to be a clipper. I got to be freaking editor, clipper, cameraman, everything. Light man, black man. I got to be that too. Shoot. You got to be everything, son. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because there's going to come to a time where I need to hire, or I may need to outsource, right? You may need to outsource. You might get projects that you may need to kick out because you can't do it yourself. What you going to do now? Now you're stuck. When if you had a rapport with someone else in your same network, you can go and say, hey, yo, take care of this. This for you. I can't do this, but I know you can. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, with that being said, get out the lone wolf phase. Now you know what the lone wolf phase is. You know exactly what the lone wolf phase is. So you know if you're in the lone wolf phase, right? You know what part you are at in the lone wolf phase. And now you also know what you need to do. You start, you don't get no traction. And you then realize what's going on. You realize you need to build discipline, systems, skills, everything for your business. And then you need to collaborate. These are small little steps to grow. These are small little steps to grow, right? And these are the steps you're going to need because you can't do this by yourself. You cannot do this by yourself. You're limited, right? I'll give you an example on how I work. I'm very explosive. I know that. I'm super explosive. My ability to adapt is crazy. I'm a wolf. That's what I do. Wolves adapt themselves in the desert, the winter, the summer, spring, ice cold terrain. It don't matter. A wolf is gonna adapt. I'm a wolf. I'm gonna adapt. You could put me anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I be in a room with killers. I'm sitting down, drinking a pina colada like everything is all good. Don't matter. I'm a wolf. I could go anywhere I want. I could do whatever I want. No limitations. There's no room I could go in and feel uncomfortable. You crazy? I'm a wolf. You gonna feel uncomfortable before I do. That it is what it is. I'm a wolf. And the thing is, like I always tell people, I'm a wolf. I'm telling you I'm not a wolf. I'm telling you I'm a wolf. I tell people this all the time. I'm telling you now I'm a wolf. I'm not hiding it. I'm not telling you I'm a sheep. No, I'm a wolf. And there's nothing wrong with being a wolf. There is nothing wrong with being a wolf. One of the things you got to understand, when I see I'm a wolf, and I say this all the time, don't think of a wolf in sheep clothing, because that's what I'm not. I'm telling you I'm a wolf. I'm telling you I'm a wolf. I'm telling you how I move, right? And wolves aren't bad animals. They get a bad rep, but they're not bad animals, right? Understand something, right? Let me see. I want to make sure I quote this right. Gotta look this up. Okay, so I made sure I had to get it right? Like I told you, I'm a wolf. I know that I'm a wolf, right? And wolves get a bad rep, right? Because they looked at savage, beast, sneaky. They not looked as strategic. They not looked as warriors, right? People pay a lot of attention to the negative. But let me put you on the game. Genesis 49, verse 27, bro, right? The tribe of Benjamin. The Most High referred to the tribe of Benjamin as wolves, as his warriors, right? They stick together. And when they win, they divide the spoil. Whatever they get back, they share to the pack. That's how the Most High referred to his chosen people. He referred to them as wolves, as warriors, right? And that's how you guys got to be. You guys have to be warriors. You got to be the wolves. Not in sheep clothing, right? Not in sheep clothing. You could be a sheep to the Most High, but to everybody else, you got to be a wolf, right? And if you're not in this pack, you're over there. But build your pack. Build your community, right? With that being said, thank you for tuning into Dreamaker Podcast. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And for the non-wolves that's not a part of the pack, for the wolves that's not a part of the pack, pack you up, son. Pack you up, son. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stay here, you can watch me, but pack you up, son. We don't really need you. You know what I'm saying? We need the wolves that's going to come here week in, week out and show up. Get me now. Reach out now. You know what I'm saying? Because once this wolf pack is built up, it's going to be too late. With that being said, thank you for tuning to Dreamaker Podcast. It's always a pleasure. I do this every week. All right? You will have content from me every week. And I don't plan on stopping because I'm a wolf. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to take me out. Straight up. They're going to have to take me out. Straight up, because I can't stop, won't stop. So, I'll see y'all probably most likely next week. Check the clips out on Instagram. You know how I do. This is how I shoot my podcast. And if you want your podcast to be shot the same way, tune in. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tap in. Tap in. All right, y'all. Peace.